Today I am going to present the original article from NEJ about transcatheter aortic valve replacement in low risk patient at 5 years. First I was performed in 2002. After that, many articles many studies were taken to see benefit of TAVI over surgical process. First article is partner trial, which was published in 2010. It mainly focused on the patient with high surgical group. After that, partner 2 trial was there. It was published in 2016. It focused on intermediate surgical groups. Last trial about TAVI is partner 3 trial. It was published in 2019. It compared transaortic valve replacement with low risk surgical patients, and follow-up was taken after 1 year. Due to less duration of follow-up, that study was not much relevant from statistical purposes. So this study was undertaken to see the benefits of TAVI over surgical cases at 5 years. This is a continuation of that partner 3 trial analysis of the same patients. TAVR has become increasingly utilized alternative to surgery for treating severe symptomatic aortic stenosis. A randomized trial encompassing both balloon expandable and self-expandable TAVR was demonstrated that patient had intermediate high risk of death within 30 days after surgery. TAVR was either non-inferior or superior to surgical aortic valve replacement at 5-year follow-ups. In trials involving patients with low surgical risk, TAVR was either non-inferior or superior to surgery at 2 or 3 years. Placement of aortic transcatheter valves partner 3 trial specifically revealed that the composite endpoint of death, stroke, rehospitalization at 1 year was significantly lower with TAVR as compared to surgery. So, this trial reports 5-year outcome of the same trials. Methods: it is a multi-center randomized trial. The SAPIEN transcatheter heart valve by Edwards Lifesciences was compared to surgical aortic replacement in patients with severe symptomatic aortic stenosis assessed with having low surgical risk. Patients with severe symptomatic aortic stenosis and which were classified as being low surgical risk through clinical and anatomical assessment were included in these studies. The assessment included a Society of Thoracic Surgeons predicted risk of mortality, that is STS PROM score less than 4%, means low surgical risk, with higher scores indicating greater risk of death within 30 years of the procedure. The patients were assigned into 1:1 ratio. Intervention done was TAVR and surgical aortic valve replacement with commonly available bioprosthetic valves. Assessment: clinical outcome and transthoracic echocardiography data were assessed at multiple points, that is baseline, after implantation procedure, at hospital discharge, 30 days, 6 months, 1 year, and annually up to 5 years. Endpoints: primary endpoints was composite of death from any cause, stroke, rehospitalization related to the procedure, the valve, or heart failures. Other secondary endpoints being death or disabling stroke, new onset atrial fibrillation, aortic valve reintervention, endocarditis, clinically significant valve thrombosis assessed by VARC3 criteria. Other secondary endpoints included the functional class, that is functional status and quality of life assessed by Cairns CT cardiomyopathy questionnaire overall summary. KCCQ OS score ranges from 0 to 10 with higher score indicating better health status. Patient alive with KCCQ OS score more than 75 or higher was secondary endpoint indicating status of being alive and well. Echocardiographic assessment was done and evaluated by core laboratory. Total aortic regurgitation and paravalvular aortic regurgitation was assessed mainly. Valve durability assessment done as per VARC3 definition, which includes valve reintervention, valve-related deaths, deterioration in hemodynamic valve function between day 30 and follow-up echocardiographs. Potential cases of bioprosthetic valve failure adjusted by group of 3 experts for confirmation of presence, stage, and cause of valve failures. Coming to the results of this study, overall 1000 patients underwent randomization at 71 different clinical sites from Western world. 503 patients were assigned to transfemoral tower group. 497 patients were assigned to surgery group. As before beginning of the trial, one patient from tower group was withdrew. All the patient profile was shown in the chat, and at the start of procedure, 454 patients were included in surgery groups. Regarding patient characteristics, mean age of the patients was 73 years. In tower group, 94.6% of patients followed data available, that is 469 patients out of 496. And in surgery group, 88.3% of patients followed data available, that is 401 patients out of 454 patients.
So I want to ask one thing. How mean age 73, that means there must be patients from somewhere 50, 60 to even more
Yes,
than 80, right?
Patient
So
profile.
how this patient can be low risk for surgery? Are there?
Yes, sir. Can be low risk without any comorbidities.
If my age is 75 without any comorbidity, then I am low risk for any major surgery?
No, sir. Intermediate. But there is mean age 73. Many patients can be 60, 65.
But there must be someone who is more than 80 years old, na? That is
Yes.
why the median is 73.
Yes.
So how what sort of risk stratification they have? Because we are not aware if your age is more than 70, by any means you put this patient in low risk surgical group.
They assess the Society of Thoracic Surgeons score, and according to that they
Do
include.
you have that score?
Yes, sir.
Please send it.
Yes.
These must be based on the aortic stenosis criteria other than comorbidity. For that aortic stenosis, the criteria may be low risk and high risk, not for other comorbidity. That is what I think.
But they all are severe aortic stenosis.
Severe aortic, but the criteria, the gradient name.
But severe aortic stenosis itself is a high risk for everything.
Major cardiac surgery is
Yeah.
high risk.
So I am not getting how they have classified them into low risk. कोनो फिरकी ले रहा है भाई.
Through clinical, even though the severe symptomatic is
Severe symptomatic is
Severe
sir. How a
symptomatic.
severe symptomatic AS patient can
Severe
be
symptomatic.
low risk for any surgery?
but the hypertension, diabetes and બધું હોય થોડે.
Should I tell score, sir? Yes.
ના હવે એવું ડિટેલમાં જોઈ લઈશ મને મોકલી દેજો WhatsApp પર અત્યારે તો આગળ વધતા છે બોર્ડ એથી.
Because the score have 1.8 only, sir, and the rest points include, sir, EMI, diabetes, renal failure, congestive heart failure, and different systemic comorbidities, sir.
Age
Age have only one preoperative score, sir.
and actual this aortic stenosis નો કોઈ point નથી?
No, sir. They include cardiogenic shock, CLD, myocardial infarction, concomitant surgery shock. These different parameters have more.
So out of 8 કેટલા હોય તો એ લોકો હાઈ રિસ્ક માં કરે કેટલા હોય તો લો રિસ્ક માં કરે?
देखो सर, best.
એટલે તો બોલા मुझे भेज देना. कैसे अभी इसमें टाइम वेस्ट मत करो.
Yes, okay, sir. These are the patient profile, which procedure they have undergone. In tower patient, all patients undergone the sapien transcatheter, heart valve, catheter, and in surgical patients, they include different kind of valve mentioned here like catheter, Edwards Perimones, Magna X, and Medtronic, Abbott, and Livanora. But these are bioprosthetic valves. These are clinical endpoints. I will summarize. The primary composite endpoint in the form of death, stroke, or rehospitalization occurred in tower group in 111 patients out of 496 patients. That is 22.8% of the patient in tower group. Sir. In surgery group, the primary endpoint occurs in 170 patients of 454 patients. That is 27.2% of the patient in surgery group, with difference of 4.3% in this analysis, with less primary endpoint in tower groups. Individual or primary endpoints. The first chart shows the death from any cause. Here in tower patient, death from any cause occurred in 10% of the patient and 8.2% of the patient in surgical group, sir. Second individual primary endpoint is stroke, sir. Stroke occurred in 5.8% of the patient tower group and 6.4% of the surgery group. I want to highlight the stroke point because it is said that in patient of tower, the stroke frequency of stroke is very much. That is one of the risk of tower procedure is the embolization and stroke. But in this analysis, at the end of 5 years, the stroke incidence is less in tower as compared to surgery, sir.
So what are the causes of death in this 10% and 8%?
Everything is in next charts. Death from any cause is death from cardiovascular causes is 5.5. These include heart failure, cardiogenic shock. Non-cardiovascular death in 4.8% of the patient in tower group. And they specifically mentioned that 3% of the patient died due to COVID, coronavirus disease, that included in non-cardiovascular death.
The total death tower group માં કેટલી થઈ?
Total 48, sir. This 26 plus 20. Tower 48, sir.
તો ઉપરવાળી છે એ કઈ છે? સ્ટ્રોક ને રિવર પર ટોટલ ડેથ કહું છું તમે.
सर डेथ फ्रॉम एनी कॉज 48, सर जो प्राइमरी एंडपॉइंट है उसमें स्ट्रोक और रीहॉस्पिटलाइजेशन दोनों कंसीडर करके कंपोजिट लिया है, सर. डेथ फ्रॉम एनी कॉज, सर.
ઓકે
Second is death from cardiovascular causes, sir.
ઓકે
Third is death from non-cardiovascular causes, sir.
ઓકે સો these are primary endpoints.
The primary endpoint is the first only, sir. The primary endpoint में सब combine करके जो final number है.
So total death is 111.
Total death, stroke or rehospitalization combined is 111, sir.
Including.
Okay, okay.
And second death, and they assess the every primary endpoint in different separately, sir.
ठीक है.
This and rehospitalization 13.7 in tower group versus 17.4% of the patient in surgery group. That is rehospitalization is less in tower group, sir. And there are additional outcomes and complications were assessed in the form of secondary endpoint. New onset atrial fibrillation. 55 patients in tower group had a new onset atrial fibrillation, that is 13.7%. In surgical group, 155 patients have new onset AF, sir. That is 42.4%. This is a major complication after surgery, but not any disability limiting. Serious bleeding complication is 49%, 49 patients in tower group and 64 patients in surgical group. That is expected due to anticoagulation therapy in surgical patients, sir. Permanent pacemaker implantation, 13.5% of the patient in tower group required permanent pacemaker implantation, and in surgery group 10.4% patient required permanent pacemaker implantation. Regarding wall thrombosis, this is the main complication. In tower group, 2.5% of the patient had wall thrombosis, that is 12 patients. In surgical group, only one patient has wall thrombosis, rest are fine. But special highlighting about wall thrombosis, without any hemodynamic wall deterioration, stage 1, there were 4 patients. Moderate hemodynamic wall deterioration, there were 5 patients. With severe hemodynamic wall deterioration, there were 3 patients. All these patients were treated with medical management, and none of these patients had died due to wall thrombosis. There is no mortality due to wall thrombosis. They were managed conservatively. Long-term wall function and its complication after 5 years. Aortic wall gradient at area. In tower group, aortic wall gradient was 12.8 plus or minus 6.5 millimeter of mercury, and wall area was 1.9 plus or minus 0.5 centimeter square. In surgical group, the gradient was 11.7 plus or minus 5.6 millimeter of mercury, and wall area is 1.8 plus or minus 0.5 centimeter square. That is no much difference between these two categories. Long-term wall function and complications. Aortic regurgitation. 81 of 331 patients of tower group developed aortic regurgitation with mild to severe category. That is 24.5% is the main complication occurred in tower category. In surgical group, there was less incidence of aortic regurgitation. That is 18 out of 284 patients developed aortic regression, that is 6.3%, and they specifically mentioned that this aortic regression don't need any intervention or without any disability limiting. Paravalvular aortic regression, 69 patients in TAVR group, that is 20.8% developed paravalvular ER. In surgical group, 9 out of 283, that is 3.2% of the patient developed paravalvular ERs. This analysis go in favor of surgical patients. Bioprosthetic wall failure at the end of 5 years. In TAVR patient, 3.3% of the patient had wall failure, and in surgical patient, 3.8% of the patient had wall failure. Then stage 3 severe structural or hemodynamic deterioration occurred in TAVR group in 1.1% of the patient. Surgical group is 1%. Aortic wall reintervention required 2.2% of the patient, and in surgical group 2.6% of the patient. But wall related death in TAVR group is 0% of the patient. In surgical group is 0.2%. Only one patient of surgical group died due to wall failure, and rest of the TAVR group none died. With at the end of 5 years, total 392 of 484 patients, that is 86.3% of patient had normally functioning wall, and in surgery group 334 out of 382 patients, that is 81.4% of the patient have normally functioning wall status after 5 years. And final, they assess the functional and health status of the 5 years. Functional outcome in the form of NYHA class 1 or class 2. Patient having only NYHA class 1 or class 2 symptoms. That is 84.4% of the TAVR group and 86.0% of the patient in surgical groups has NYHA class less than 2. This is specific health status, that is mean CCQ OS score. In TAVR group, the health status was 5 in 86.2% of the patient. In surgical group is 85.9%. And patient alive with that score more than 75 means indicating the good functional status. In TAVR group there is 71.0 and surgery group is 71.9. Summarizing this slide, I want to say that after 5 years, both surgery and TAVR group, the patients having good health status is same in both categories at the end of 5 years.
What is 5 years survival rate of severe symptomatic AS at this age?
Severe symptomatic AS 5 years survival very less, less than 10%. Sir. But after intervention. So summarizing the 5-year follow-up of this part of 3 trial. Primary endpoint, the composite endpoint of death, stroke, rehospital was similar between TAVR and surgery groups. Incidence of individual endpoints, death, disability or non-disability, stroke, rehospitalization also showed no significant difference. I don't want to highlight that TAVI is better than surgery. They are assessing is TAVI is comparable to surgery or not. Event-free survival, restricted mean event-free survival over 5 years of age was longer in TAVR group. Aortic wall durability. Aortic wall durability according to WAS redefinition of bioprosthetic wall failure appeared similar in both groups at the end of 5 years. The secondary endpoints, atrial fibrillation and bleeding tendency were less frequent in TAVR group. Paravalvular aortic regurgitation, wall thrombosis, pacemaker implantation was less in surgery groups. Functional is the similar functional outcome in both group for functional and health status. This is specific health status assessed to KCCQ OS score was comparable. Majority of patients in both group were alive and doing well at 5 years. Long-term trends. After the first year, there was attenuation in the difference between TAVR group and surgery group with respect to composite primary endpoint, which previously has favored the TAVR. Means initial when the first trial was done, at the end of 1 year, the TAVR was very much the result of TAVR was very much better than surgical. But when follow-up was taken for longer duration, 5 years, at that time they showed TAVR and surgery as equal. There is no benefit. Stroke and wall durability.
What do you expect at 10 years?
Of course, surgery might be better, sir, at the end of 10 years. We still need that data, sir.
Why?
Because wall failure rate is more in TAVR, sir. Already we say, but 12 patients of TAVR already has wall thrombosis, and and none of surgical patient has wall thrombosis. Might be reasons, but at present study doesn't conclude anything, sir. At the end.
The primary aim of tower was to give a good life. Those who are having less life expectancy.
Yes, sir. That was the main aim.
Now, if you fit that thing in a younger population or those who are at low risk, who might be living longer than 10 years, 20 years, then it is sure that your tower is going to fail.
Yes, sir. Now, that's why this study was compared with bioprosthetic aortic wall, not from mechanical aortic walls. In the old age patient, the study was
But they haven't given
designed
us-
like that only, sir.
We are still not having 10 years data. It will be
Yes.
interesting to see.
This is the first data, sir. Same time, the follow-up data at 5 years published in this year, last month, sir. And this data will be continued further, sir.
Good.
Stroke and wall durability. Similar incidence of stroke at the 5 years in both group, with more stroke with ischemic stroke. Wall durability assessed by hemodynamic wall performance and need of reintervention was comparable at 5 years. A higher percentage of patient in tower group than in surgery group had paravalvular aortic regurgitation mild or greater severity. However, mild aortic regurgitation was not associated with higher mortality at the rate of 5 years in tower. Functional status, improvement in functional status and quality of life were initially greater in tower group but became similar to surgery group by the end of 1 year. Wall thrombosis is rare but more common in tower group and did not significantly impact wall durability at the end of 5 years. Differences in anticoagulation therapy might contribute to the higher incidence in tower groups. Coming to limitation, trial population constraints. Exclusion criteria of the patient with poor transfemoral access, bicuspid aortic wall, and certain anatomical and clinical factors limit the generalizability of the findings admitted to the broader population. This is a selection patient bias. Withdrawal and bias. More withdrawals in the surgery group than tower group could potentially introduce the bias in finding that around 34% of the patients with post-op for surgery has withdrawn the study. Vital status sweep. While the vital status sweep was conducted to address missing data, it
They
may
have
not.
withdrawn study or they have withdrawn surgery?
Sorry, sir.
That 34 patient withdrawn surgery or they have withdrawn study?
They are rejected the surgery, sir.
So they have withdrawn
They-
out of surgery
out
only.
of surgery.
Study ना तो सवाल है ना.
Yes, sir. That's right. Conducted to address missing data, it may not fully correct for possible bias in under-reporting the non-fatal events. Okay, coming to the conclusion, among the patients with severe symptomatic aortic stenosis at low surgical risk undergoing tower procedure, the incidence of two primary composite endpoints appear to be similar at the 5 years of follow-up. This patient will be followed for 10 years to provide further insight into the durability of transcatheter and surgical biopsy reports. Thank you.
So over 55 years, for each 5 years, we need 1 point.
Yes, sir. And total points more than 4. Again, percentage to points. 4 to 8% is considered the intermediate risk. More than 8% is considered as high risk.
Percentage?
I think.
Percentage कहते हैं. आपको घर में पहले वाली पहला वाली पिक्चर ઝૂમ થયો નથી આતે સ્ક્રીનશોટ લઈ લીધો એમાં બધું કટ થઈ ગયું.
यही है सर.
इससे पहले बहुत सारी चीजें लिखी हुई थी इस जो छोटा वाला पिक्चर है ना उसमें.
हाँ सर. ये रिसर्च गेट कार्ड नहीं था सर.
हाँ ये ज़ूमेबल है. हाँ बस इसको ज़ूम करो ऊपर क्या लिखा है नीचे क्या लिखा है सब पढ़ो.
डिटेल देखना देख के आपको भेजता हूँ सर. क्या एग्जैक्ट है.
क्योंकि अगर 55 के बाद हर 5 साल में 1 पॉइंट दे रहे हैं तो